think Edward Scissorhands is hotter than Ichabod Crane, Johnny Depp?
I was a weird child, Michael.
No shame in that game, I guess, but interesting choice. I will say that. Brian, what's the hottest Johnny Depp role for you?
Oh boy, I wouldn't even be able to tell you.
You're a crybaby guy, aren't you?
This is Opening Kill. The following program contains mature content, explicit language, and detailed discussion of on-screen deaths. Spoilers are unavoidable. Listener discretion is advised.
And welcome to Opening Kill, episode 63. My name is Michael Duran, along with my co-host, the fabulous, the incredible, the always organized Brian O'Connor.
Oh, please. Keep going. I mean, I'm not stopping you.
The talented, the Jameson drinker,
Well, tonight, though, it's actually Guinness tonight, so we're still doing St. Patrick's Day.
Well, there you have it. Add that to the list. Now Guinness drinker.
Well, always have been.
Yeah,
but
always will be.
Always will be, probably. So, what have you been up to the past week, Michael? See anything good?
I have seen a few things that are good. I'll first talk about one that it's not horror per se, but it stars Matthew Lillard, so I feel like you can always talk about it if it stars Matthew Lillard. It's old. It's from 1998. It's SLC Punk. I have never seen it. And everyone has always told me, I'm a huge Matthew Lillard fan. They're like, well, that's his best performance. And it definitely is. It stars Matthew Lillard, obviously, but it also has Devon Sawa, Jason Segel, and he's like a baby in this movie. So like itty bitty baby Jason Segel. It is really, really good. It's very sad. But like probably Jason Segel's best role and Matthew Lillard's all wrapped up in one little story about kids who are punk rockers and realize that, you know, in order to kind of grow up, you have to sell out and you kind of end up questioning everything that you really believe. And it was just like a really cool dive into that world. And I recommend watching it if you have not. But that's what I watched. I watched SLC Punk.
I watched nothing this week, sadly, but
good job.
I am going to go see Ready or Not 2 with a friend here in just a couple of nights. So I'm excited about that because that's one that I've been looking forward to.
Yeah, that's one I wanted to see for quite a while, and it's been getting really good reviews. So I'm excited. I love Samara Weaving. She's so good in everything.
Absolutely, she is. Yeah. So as Michael said, this is episode 63, Sleepy Hollow from 1999. So excited about this episode. We've been waiting to do this for a long time, and we have some special guests with us that we could not be more excited about. We have been trying to get Courtney from Jaunty Haunts for a while. Our schedules have just not aligned until now. Her podcast, Jaunty Haunts, is so much fun to listen to. And Courtney, welcome to Opening Kill, or I should say welcome back.
Thanks, guys. Happy to be back. I love that our first sort of venture into podcasting, we got connected so quickly and that we're still going and thriving and doing it and guesting. So thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. Also joining us, a regular here on Opening Kill. She is one of our researchers, and she is also a very incredibly talented special effects makeup artist, which is why we wanted her on for this one, because there's a lot of that in this film. It is researcher Shay. Shay.
Hello. Good to be back.
Glad to have you back. So this is going to be a fun movie to talk about. This is one of my favorite horror films. I watch it more than once a year. I will say that. This is kind of like one of those comfort blanket things. You just throw it on and there it is. So love the fact that we're all together doing this movie.
I just pictured you like cozying up with like a cup of tea with like a blanket, a Snuggie on you, being like, oh, it's time to mental health day. We're going to watch some Sleepy Hollow. I just thought it was really a cute visual I got.
Exactly.
I just thought that was precious.
Don't forget the popcorn either.
That's right. You're not too far off, Michael. So there it is.
I do love it. This one feels so fall, which I love that we're doing it right here in the spring as well. But like this, I don't think there's a movie that feels more like fall than Sleepy Hollow. Like it's one that I always watch as soon as the leaves start to change.
Mm-hmm.
I usually do it when I
Definitely.
start craving fall, which is
Yes.
like about this time. So it worked out perfectly for me rewatching this again because I'm ready for it already.
A good
And
spring ween.
Courtney has the distinction of having actually visited Sleepy Hollow when you lived in New York. So we definitely are going to want to talk to you about your experience and what you did. You did some great things for your podcast while you were visiting Sleepy Hollow. So we want to talk about that here as we get into this. But first, just the facts. Sleepy Hollow, directed by one of my favorites, Tim Burton, was written by Andrew Kevin Walker. Released in theaters November 11th, 1999, has a runtime of 105 minutes, rated R for many reasons, and just an all-star cast. Johnny Depp, Christina Ricci, Miranda Richardson, the late Michael Gambon, Casper Van Dien, Jeffrey Jones, and the list goes on and on.
Christopher Lee, gotta mention Saruman.
Christopher Lee, of course, he was in this as well. And, I mean, the Headless Horseman himself, Mr. Walken, so we can't forget him. Absolutely. $100 million they made this for. It turned around and made over $206 million. Tagline, Heads Will Roll, nominated for 44 different awards, including 3 Oscars, and it did win an Academy Award for Best Art Direction, rightfully so. And it's really interesting how they filmed this because a lot of the forest scenes they built on a soundstage and shot this, which is just incredible because you wouldn't know. I mean, it just looks so good. So if you've not seen the movie, in a nutshell, Ichabod Crane is sent to Sleepy Hollow to investigate the decapitations of 3 people. The culprit is legendary apparition, the Headless Horseman. So it starts in 1799. And here we go. It is Sleepy Hollow. So when you were there, Courtney, tell us a little bit about that. Share your stories of the vibes you got, the mood, everything about it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so I have to say first, before we moved to New York, I made a joke of like, it would be fun to find something upstate that has like a Sleepy Hollow vibe. And they were like, yeah, like Sleepy Hollow. And I was like, yeah, like that vibe. And they're like, yeah, like the place. And I was like, well, it's not a real place. They're like, yes, it is. Like, I truly did not know Sleepy Hollow was a real town. I felt so dumb. So that was one of the first excursions that we planned and did upon moving to the East Coast. And I'm glad I did so soon because I fell in love and I went back many a time. It was truly like a 34-minute train ride from my door to get to Tarrytown, which is like the proper big town surrounding Sleepy Hollow. And it's everything you'd hope it would be. Honestly, I mean, I hate to get people's expectations up like that. Obviously, it's not like... No, it is. It is haunted. Like, I have videos and pictures of people's front yards. One of the most recent trips I went, I realized there was this person's front yard right when you get off the train and you go up the hill, and the whole front gate and patio is made out of people's graves that have been like recycled. Like, it's like broken down headstones that were made into their porch. And I'm just like,
what?
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm like,
that's insane.
A sustainable spooky porch we love, right? But no, I can go into so much detail. I'll let you pick and choose what you want to hear, but I will say overall, the last trip I went was about 2 weeks before I left forever, which was this last October, and we went to sort of like a fun night market end of Halloween, and there was an actual Headless Horseman performance where they had a trained black beautiful horse and a guy in a really wonderful costume riding around as fast as he could around us with like lightning and thunder and all this great effects. And it was like the full Sleepy Hollow experience on this very haunted property, which is the Phillipsburg Manor, right next to the bridge, the famous bridge where the legend comes from. Also got to go to Washington Irving's grave, the writer of Sleepy Hollow, and learn about how his writing was not only fun and inspirational for the spooky community, but also brought so much revenue and tourism to the town and made it what it is today. So yeah, it's amazing, incredibly haunted, lots of paranormal experience, but overall, I can't recommend it enough. It's really out of the way, so if you're not already like going to Manhattan or something, like I understand, but if you're into this stuff, definitely before you die, make a trip of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's road trip time. All of us, we're going to go and do this thing.
One
Gas
van.
prices come down, and then we'll make it
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that would be $8 million to drive across the country.
Yeah, literally.
Right.
Let's take a yacht
Worth it.
around the continent. That'll be cheaper.
That'd be
There you
cheaper.
go.
Or
So
horseback.
the movie starts in 1799, and we see Ichabod Crane.
I do really love what Johnny Depp was very involved, as he always is, with any Burton movie. But talking about how he doesn't fit the style at all of Ichabod Crane, like how it was written, it was very Washington Irving. He does such a good job of describing everything in detail. So he kind of felt like, well, I need prosthetics, I need this, I need that, and everyone just kept telling him no. Tim Burton said no. The studio, Paramount said no, and he was like, "Damn it, dude! I want to have the ugly face, the big nose. I want it all." But no, they just made him his beautiful little self. But he encapsulates the character very well, in my opinion. By
He does.
taking really great, like you can definitely see some of his inspiration from like Sherlock Holmes kind of vibe. He does a little. I was written. He said it himself. Took it from Roddy McDowall from Fright Night. The very interesting style, and then also like the Angela Lansbury from Murder She Wrote kind of stuff. Anything that he could find and take to become this sleuth that has a bit of a problem around blood. But I really love this opening scene with him in it. Oh my gosh, incredible!
Right.
It like sets the mood right away of what we know about him.
He ends up in a
Yeah.
courtroom where we find the judge, Christopher Lee, and he decides that he's going to send Ichabod Crane to the fog-drenched village of Sleepy Hollow to investigate a string of gruesome decapitations. And there were 3 of them. The victims were wealthy landowner Peter Van Garrett, his son Dirk, and widow Emily Winship. So,
And that whole scene is so sick. The
Yes.
scene with Dirk and his Peter, because you get this, they're fleeing out of Sleepy Hollow and they're just on the road with their carriage, and they get overtaken by the Headless Horseman, and it cuts off the head of the guy who's driving, and like the guy looks up and he just sees the headless
Yeah.
body just continuing to drive. And my favorite part of this whole scene is when Peter goes out into the cornfield, and there is the coolest looking scarecrow of all time. I love how the scarecrow looks. And you see something come up, he kind of does that face, then blood splatters against the scarecrow. And I love how
Right.
the blood looks. It looks very fake, does not look real at all in the slightest. It is very stylized, but I love how it looks. I think it's some of my favorite film blood is the blood in Sleepy Hollow, because I don't know what it is about it. It's just so visually appealing. Like, it's just like, it looks beautiful, kind of.
Yeah, it feels very intentional, the choice to make it look like not real, or even trying to be a little not real. Like it is, like you said, it's very artistic. It's like almost beautiful every time it happens,
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's one of the things Tim Burton is known for, his, these blood effects in all of his horror films. And I think you're right. It looks just beautiful. So here's the problem we have, though, with this scene. The opening kill is off screen. We don't see the driver die, actually. So, or we don't see the kill. So let's do this first.
The opening kill.
So as far as the kill goes, I mean, it's got to be a butter knife, just because we don't see it.
Boo.
I know.
It's still a good, I'm giving a butcher. I don't give a fuck. It still looks cool. Like that whole thing where he looks up and he just sees the headless body. So you pan up and you see the carriage driver where he's just headless. Like, I don't know. I'm still vibing with that. I like how that looks, even though you don't see it. I think it still is a cool kill. Like, if you're going to do it off screen, I don't mind an off-screen kill, but you have to show the body, is my thought process. So as long as you show the body, I will forgive it being off-screen, and I like the whole setup with it and how the body looks. Like, so I'm going to give it a butcher. I love this opening kill.
Okay. We disagree on that one.
We do.
Courtney, what do you say?
I don't know. I think I kind of agree with Michael, especially because of the title and it's such a famous historical story. I think if we didn't know, like as the audience, it's kind of like our little secret. Like in the town, it's like we feel the fear of this guy in the carriage, like, what was this? But we as the audience, like, we know what it was. Like, it really is like gets us hyped, you know?
Sure. Okay, Shay, what do you say?
It's a butter knife for me, dog. I'm sorry. I will agree with Brian here. So we're 2 for 2 at this point.
Okay.
Slash down the middle.
Evenly split. All right.
Just like his head.
Just like
Heyo.
That's right. There it is. Well, Ichabod arrives in Sleepy Hollow, and he's not welcomed real well at first here.
He's not. I mean, he's weird. Like, they're probably never seen a guy like this. He's very eccentric, all while being incredibly hot. Like, it's kind of crazy how good looking Johnny Depp is in this movie. Like, this might be his peak. Like, truly, I don't like this might be his best looking role ever. And he's just, he's like a little emo boy. So yeah, that's 17th century America. They've never seen a little emo boy before. So yeah, of course they are very confused by him.
He did such a
was
good
always-
job at like othering himself, right? Like it really felt
Yeah.
like the city slicker is coming up into the
Mhm.
mountains to get into our business, right? I think that he did a
Yes.
great job of being like without feeling presumptuous of like I'm telling the town what to do, but being like I'm just here to do a job, you know?
Yeah, like
I was
don't really
always a
wanna be
fan
here.
of Edward Scissorhands, personally. I was in love with him. Oh my God.
You think Edward Scissorhands is hotter than Ichabod Crane, Johnny Depp?
I was a weird child, Michael. We'll leave it at that.
Fair, but
Wrong. I understand.
I think, yeah, that's, you know what? To each their own. No
Mhm.
shame in that game, I guess. But interesting choice. I will say that. Brian, what's the hottest Johnny Depp role for you?
Oh boy, I wouldn't even be able to tell you. I would have to go back and think on it.
You're a crybaby guy, aren't you?
Actually, I would say Sleepy Hollow is probably a pretty solid choice. Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Anyway,
chiseled.
so he shows up. They're having a party when he shows up, and the Van Tassels, and so he walks in, and this is where he meets Katrina Van Tassel, played by Christina Ricci, who
And
gives
the
him a
entire
kiss.
guest of Harry Potter, basically.
Yes, exactly. And he takes up residence with the Van Tassel family while he's there to investigate these murders. The town's elite elders insist the killer is no ordinary man, but the vengeful spirit of a headless Hessian mercenary risen from the grave in search of his stolen skull. And Ichabod is having none of this. And there's a very cool flashback scene where we actually see the death of the Headless Horseman in this.
Christopher Walken was just hamming it up for this role. He's like, "Rah!"
Yeah. Yeah, his like just
Like-
one growl, just like, oh my God.
Well,
And
he
he has these
couldn't really
fucking
talk with
sharp
the
teeth.
teeth.
Yeah,
he
he's got
couldn't really
these
talk with the teeth, so all he
insane
could make was his
sharp teeth.
noises. But they were very fitting noises for this scary
Well, they were.
myth.
I think they had to do that to keep him from talking because, you know, we
I
all
agree.
are familiar with his dialect. So if he was like, I'm coming to get you, I'm coming for my
Oh, and-
head, my horrible impression. But like that way it's
And I
like,
was
no,
about
just
to-
scream,
That was
Christopher
pretty
Walken.
good.
I was about to try to
Right.
do a Walken impression, and I quickly realized, oh no, I can't do that. So
I took that.
that was
fall
better
for
than I
you.
could do.
I did a poor
No,
one.
that was
no.
better.
Oh, okay.
No,
Thank you.
we bowed down. That was better than I could do. So well done. I was about to
So-
be like, just like, hey.
Is that Christopher Walken? Is he in the room with us?
Oh my God.
Hey,
we got him
he's
on the
here.
podcast, you guys.
Oh
That's
my God.
crazy.
Surprise appearance.
So we see the flashback of the Hessian. He's being tracked by soldiers, and he gets into a battle with him. There are two little girls actually who are watching him, and he comes upon in the woods, and he's telling them to be quiet. And one of them is holding a branch, and she breaks it to make noise, which attracts the attention of the soldiers. So there's this very cool fight. We get two soldiers that are decapitated. And then we have 5 additional soldiers who take a sword to the gut before the Headless Horseman himself is decapitated by his own sword.
I do love this scene. I am a little
Yeah.
confused because, like, the girls. I mean, I like the sound effect of the stick breaking, but also like a little bit of like a hey, he's over here would have probably been better than a stick breaking.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I would have been like, oh, we must go that direction. A stick just broke.
It's so funny, though. It's so funny. Nothing than a child just like completely disrespecting an adult, just like looking straight in their eyes and being like, no, I'm going to do what I want to do. Especially in like a
Mhm.
horror film.
I get that
Right.
look about 3 times a day from mine.
That's why you don't like it.
yeah, it's a bit traumatic for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
flashbacks.
So even after this story, he's still very skeptical of the Headless Horseman theory. So, and he's brought with him all of these state-of-the-art for 1799 tools in detecting murder. And that was one of the things when he was back in the courtroom, he was telling the judge that he's got all of these new tools to investigate crimes with. So that's why he was sent to Sleepy Hollow, so he could try out his new tools here out in the middle of nowhere. So we have another victim that falls, and this is kind of a funny scene. He shows up, and they've moved the body a little bit. And he said, "You must never move the body." And they're like, "Why?" "Because I said so." Something like that.
Yeah, it's a little servant of the Van Garretts that is killed. His
Mhm.
name's Jonathan, right?
So Jonathan Masbeth, yeah. And he's the he lives in this village, and his young son, ends up joining Ichabod as an assistant. And the
Well,
investigation.
because now he's an orphan,
he's an orphan. Yeah.
much like Ichabod's an orphan too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, because
Yep,
we
he
get
is.
and we do
Yeah.
get some little flashbacks. We don't get the full story by any means quite yet, but we have gotten little flashbacks of uh, Ichabod Crane's childhood, where it's clearly something really weird happened with his mom uh, at the hands of his dad, and we don't really know what for quite yet. But you get these very bizarre flashbacks that involve his parents. So he's come from some trauma for sure, which helps
Yeah.
explain his character a little
Right.
bit more as well.
Right. So he demands that they exhume the bodies, the 3 original bodies, and they do. And he brings one of them into the doctor's little office, and
This scene's
it's a
great.
pretty funny scene, actually.
It's like, yeah, he's
my
like, he's
God.
gonna do his little operation, I guess, with the cadaver. I don't know what you
Autopsy,
call it.
whatever.
Autopsy, yeah.
It's the autopsy
Um,
room.
And he just cuts into it, and he just gets sprayed immediately in the face with this blood. And yeah, this is a guy can't handle blood, so he's not thriving in this moment. But he buckles down and he gets that shit done. And when he's done, he
Mhm.
steps out and he's just coated head to toe with this woman's blood. And he made a very important discovery. And that discovery is that she was pregnant.
Right.
So now
Right.
there's been extra victims of the Horseman that they originally did not know about.
Exactly. So he comes out back outside where the rest of the town elders are waiting for him, covered in blood, and they just stare at him like, "What the hell have you been doing in there?" Because
Horrifying.
he is covered. Yeah.
He's like, I'm doing my job, is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm getting shit done.
Yeah. So Samuel Phillips is another one of the elders, and he decides to take off, and Ichabod catches up to him as he's leaving town. This is at night. And this is where Ichabod finally gets to see the Horseman for himself. And every time he makes an entrance, it's amazing. The storm, thunder goes off and lightning, and, animals run out of the woods. And then all of a sudden there is the Headless Horseman, and he ends up killing, Samuel Phillips. And it's pretty cool because he decapitates him, and his head rolls down the hill where Ichabod is basically had fallen down, and the head like lands right between his legs and rolls down there and stops.
The head
And
lands right
yeah.
in his crotch, and it's iconic, especially
Yes.
when the Headless Horseman like rolls up on him, and you think he's
Mhm.
gonna like fuck up Ichabod, but no, he just stabs the head and carries it off and dips out. But that's a great, and Ichabod's face is just
Yeah.
like he's clutching his pearls, like ah,
Yeah.
my
No.
God.
Iconic to say the least. Yeah. Oh my god.
And he
Just
I
the
passes
do
head
think-
out.
rolling into his crotch is so fucking funny.
Agreed.
Yeah.
What was impressive, though, was learning that they created so many of these fake prosthetic heads that all had some sort of mechanic to it. Like they weren't just static. They had, you know, engineered them so that they would like twitch or blink or move a little bit. And then, yeah, getting stabbed in the head, it all had to look pretty darn realistic in a sense. And it worked because these heads,
Does
they
look
looked
good
like
though.
they were very well mastered.
Well, and some of the effects,
Absolutely.
even of like the beheadings, like some heads will like spin around before
Mhm.
falling down. Like it's super stylized. Like this is a movie that probably has the most beheadings of any movie. I don't know if that's true, but I would not be surprised if it's true. But it's not. It's a movie that I feel like people who don't like violence and gore could still handle because it's so stylized. It's not really gross, even though it probably sounds kind of gross.
Right.
I
Yeah.
agree. I think it is so stylized that it's beautiful in a sense. It's a little funny sometimes.
Mhm.
But most of the time you're just kind of looking at it going like, "Damn, that looks really good," but not creepy in it like for the people that are a little afraid of some blood or if you have a big fear of decapitation. Yeah. I mean, this movie might trigger you a little bit, but not too much because it is really fun to watch and all the things they did. I know Industrial Light and Magic worked on this one a lot as well. So they're pros at this of working on the visual effects, making it look. You don't see the wires. We'll say that of heads coming off. Everything looks really seamless, which is also Tim Burton's style to begin with.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is a movie that I feel like is perfect for Tim Burton. And it was kind of crazy because originally this wasn't Tim Burton's passion project. It was this other guy's passion. He wanted to make it. He ended up doing I think he did some of the like effect work on it. But he was originally wanting to direct it, and the studio wanted to make it a straight up slasher, like just a complete slasher film. But then like there was some disagreements, and it ended up they wanted it to make more of a theatrical kind of type of a movie, and so then Tim Burton was brought on. But I think it's kind of cool. I like this style of this movie. It's one of my favorite styles in a movie. It just looks so fucking cool. From the sets, like they built this whole town. Like this was a set, and it's an entire town, and it
Mhm.
looks amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Like I think you could like
it's-
visit it for a while. I don't think it's still there anymore, but like
No.
it was a legit town that
which
this
is
movie
why it
company
won,
just built.
this is why it won the Oscar for best art
Yeah.
direction, set design.
Mhm.
I mean, this whole thing, Tim Burton always has such an atmosphere to his movies, his style. You can tell if you're watching a Tim Burton movie. And this is no
For sure.
exception. It's just gorgeous. Yeah.
And as someone, I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm a Tim Burton fan. I like a lot of his work. I don't like a lot of his work equally. Kind of like he's very hit or miss for me. But like that is one thing you have to be able to like give him props for is the man knows how to create a look and just nail it. Like
Mhm.
it's impressive.
Well, you know
Right.
me, the seamless use of practical and CGI, if you can master it like he has in most of his movies, I will always give props to that. Whether you're a fan or not, you will see the work that was put into it.
Yeah, for sure. So now it's established that the Headless Horseman is actually real. He believes it now. And he and Katrina get a little bit closer. There's this weird little romance type thing a little bit between them.
Because how old is she?
Yeah, I hate it. Oh, I hate it so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk
Yeah.
about it.
So this was
Well, we're gonna talk
99. So
about it.
she was, I think she was born in 1980. So she was 18 or 19 when they filmed this, and he was not.
I think he was like
So
34, 35, maybe
Something like
older,
that.
38.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as Phantom of the Opera, where
No.
the leads were like 40-year-olds and she was like 17.
Oh,
Like,
Emmy
that's
Rossum.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
crazy. But this one still feels you're like, I don't particularly like
Christina
that.
Ricci just like read so young too. Like she seemed like a
She did.
15-year-old
She's
in the
still-
movie.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
she
And that's-
feels like a kid.
Yeah, and like, in the time period, I know that was appropriate, but the last few times I've been like Brian, like especially like around like autumn time, I'm like, all right, round 3, let's go. And each time it gets a little grosser. I'm like, she's a baby. This is weird. I don't like that.
Right.
And
So-
they just could have. I don't know why they cast her quite so young. I understand the times, whatever, but like, it's a movie. You can make changes. People have been casting 30-year-olds as high schoolers in slasher movies since the beginning of time. Like, we could have just done that here.
That's what Tim Burton likes, though. He likes them young and blonde and sickly.
Mhm.
And
Most
there you are.
importantly, sickly. Like that's
Sickly.
that is the key there.
Look at all of him. Look at his track record.
Yeah.
That's true. Shit.
So he ends up going into the western woods and discovers the horseman's grave beneath the twisted tree of the dead, which is a
This
portal
tree's so
between
cool.
worlds. This is pretty awesome because he starts whacking away at this tree. And we get more of this
Starts whacking
fabulous
that tree.
blood stuff here. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it just flies everywhere. This tree is a bloody, soggy mess. It's quite gross.
Right.
It looks cool though.
Does look cool. And so they also run into, is this where they run into the witch?
Well, a little bit later. Like
A little bit
first
later
he
is the
gets like.
witch.
Well, also we missed where he gets the iconic kind of classic moment where Brahm tricks him into thinking he's the Headless Horseman, but does that whole little reveal where it's like, oh no, it's just the guy running around with the.
Oh, that's
you know,
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So he gets tricked from Brahm, which is from the story. So I'm glad they included that.
Right. Exactly.
Oh yeah, and she
So-
also gives him a little spell book because she's a little witchy girl.
She is
A
a little
white
witchy
witch.
girl. White witch.
And then we're starting. I think by now we're starting to learn that maybe his mom was also
Yeah.
a witch, and Daddy didn't like that, and he was just like religious guy asshole. And so we're starting to learn more about that. So we're kind of like, ooh, so his mom was a witch. Dad maybe killed her because of that. We're starting to piece some stuff together from his childhood. So
Right. In the meantime, the
his
horseman
hand stuff
can-
too. Yeah, we learned that he has like these scars on his hands, which is important too.
Yeah, I
Forgot
still
about
never
that.
That is true.
understood that. I'd always thought, I was like, what is that? I still don't really know what that is. Maybe I missed it, but yeah.
It's so there's like this torture device that has like nails on it, and like you get shut in it.
Yeah.
And I think he touches it at some point. Like I
Okay.
think he falls on it or something. Like I don't remember, but it fucks his hand up, and I don't know if you
Well-
really would be left with the scars like that, but
Yeah.
it looks cool.
I think it was an Iron Maiden.
It was
Yeah.
an Iron Maiden. Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
it is. And there are flashbacks to his youth where his mother is being
Trapped in
I don't know
it.
what, she's in this thing. He has a dream that she's in this thing, and it opens up and this just wave of blood comes out and she comes falling out of it. But yeah, and there is a scene where you see his hands go down. It's kind of a weird, those are the weird moments in the movie.
It's trippy, but it's
Those are the
supposed to, I think,
stylistic
kind of be
things. Yeah, the
Yeah,
blur
it's
of
kind of
what's
like-
really real, what's really not. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
It feels like a dream,
Right.
but it also a memory. And I do want to say this is how you know he had a bad childhood, because his fucking dad had an Iron Maiden in their home.
Mm.
Like what the fuck?
You don't
Well,
have one
yeah.
of those?
I guess not. Maybe that's what the house
That's
is
what
missing.
you need for the kids. Oh, I mean, yeah. well,
Yeah,
it has to be-
yeah.
yeah.
They would love it. That'd
Where
be
do you
their
put them in
favorite toy.
timeout?
The Iron
The
Maiden.
Iron Maiden.
Sure is.
I always forget they're called Iron Maidens, and then I'm like, oh, that's where that band got that name from.
Yeah. Yep. Well, the horseman continues his brutal killings. Next, we have a whole family that he takes out.
This one kind of
we start with
it's sad.
oh my god, Mr. Killian. And so he shows up at their house and they hide their little boy underneath the floorboards of the living room. And so Mr. Killian is decapitated. his head is put into a bag. And then he goes after Mrs. Killian. Same thing. She's decapitated. And then you see this poor little boy looking up with these angel eyes, just like looking up, and there you can see through a hole in the floor that somebody's walking. And then, yeah, he doesn't make it either. Thankfully, we don't see that, but he's also decapitated and his head is thrown into the bag with his parents. And that's that.
And I kind of like how the horseman walks. Like, it's very, I don't know how to explain it as to why I like it, but it's very weird. He moves very interesting. I don't know. It just looks not human. So whoever was doing like his like body work was really fucking good, because they managed to make him look not human as he's just walking around. That's one of my favorite aspects of it. He looks fantastic. But yeah, we get to see him off the horsey.
Yeah, we do. We absolutely do. And we mentioned Brom Van Brunt, and he's next. He decides to get into a fight with the Headless Horseman, and so does Ichabod Crane. He's actually trying to stop him, and then he's trying to help Brom, and Brom gets fucked up. He gets sliced into several pieces. It's a very cool kill.
Brom had it coming.
He did.
We don't really like him. Yeah.
And I don't know if he like necessarily really does anything in this movie besides like the tricking Ichabod, but like you just don't like him because you know what he is from the story. You don't originally like him in the book, so you're like, fuck this dude.
Right.
And he does have that like dumbass hero complex where you're like, because he would have gotten away with it, right? Like he wasn't coming for Brom, but Brom just kept trying to fuck with him, and then finally he's just like, okay, fine, I guess I'll just kill you. So yeah, Brom has it coming. He would have been fine if you just would have let the horseman be, but he can't,
right?
Because he's an alpha.
Yeah, exactly. And Ichabod starts putting this all together, and he suspects there's a conspiracy among the town's elders, the most powerful figures, and he's even starting to suspect possibly Katrina's father, Baltus Van Tassel himself, which bothers Katrina, obviously, because she finds his journal, and she starts to get rid of some of the evidence that he has.
Which starts to make him look even more guilty. You're like, okay, well, you're starting to act real weird here, Katrina. But this is one of my favorite parts, because I've seen this movie a lot, but the end, like the reveal of like really what's going on, for whatever reason, I always mistake, like I can't remember specific little details about it. So it's always kind of like a fresh little surprise, because it is a little convoluted. So I like that it's convoluted enough to where it's kind of a surprise each time I watch it.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot there to take in.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there really is.
A lot of history.
So, a lot of history.
We know that suspicion and paranoia really did rule this land at this time in real life.
Yeah.
And so many things happened, fake accusations, and everyone is pitted against each other. And that's kind of what we wanted, unfortunately. That was always the goal. And whoever is the real killer, which we're getting to soon, did a great job at making this happen, where everyone's blaming each other, pointing fingers. As soon as witchcraft is involved, we get a little nervous. Even if it's good witchcraft, it doesn't matter.
Witchcraft
and that's
is
like
witchcraft in those days.
Exactly.
Yes.
And like that's the kind of the cool thing about Ichabod, because he's kind of represents men of science, and so like when he shows up, automatically that alone is just like, we don't do that here. Like, come on here. Everything is suspicion, and that's all we do.
Yep.
And just a couple of minutes later, after we see Brom get killed, there's another flashback, and this time it's Ichabod's mom. And that scene that I just mentioned, the flashback where she comes falling out of the Iron Maiden. So that's where that pieces into this. He has this flashback, and we see her die. So already we are up to several kills. We're like in the teens now, and we're like an hour into this movie. So it goes at quite a nice clip for the kills, for sure.
Yeah, they keep rolling. And he also has this thing with like a bird in a cage, this little machine thing that's kind of important that his mom gave him. Yeah, like because if you spin it really fast, there's pictures on each side of the little circle, and when you spin it fast, it looks like they're just one image if it's a bird in a cage. So that is also a random important part of the story.
Right. So we've got all these strange symbols, secret marriages, and buried wills, and Ichabod's trying to put all of this together. He thinks he understands kind of now what's going on, and then everything kind of flips here. Like we've been talking about, there are accusations all over the place now, lots of paranoia, and we get close here to a few other things. The church scene is coming up, which is one of my favorite scenes. We also have the notary Hardenbrook, who hangs himself off screen. So we see his body here before the church scene. And then we get to the church, and the horseman basically storms the church. And we see Mary Van Tassel, Baltus's wife, out in this storm. And he thinks that, or Katrina thinks that she has been killed by the horseman, because the horseman's now running up to the church and she's in his path. But we find out that that's a little bit later, that that's not exactly the case. So now they're all gathered in the church, and as it turns out, the horseman cannot cross onto the church property, which they're kind of in a safe space right now.
Yeah, he gets up to like the property line, I guess, and he ends up
The
stopping.
fence,
So yeah, they all think they're totally safe in there until he gets kind of ingenious with his methods. And this scene is so fucking cool.
It's
when
crazy.
he just sends that giant spike thing.
Right before that, we have a couple of other kills. We have Dr. Lancaster, who is beaten in the head with a wooden cross, because now the people are starting to fight amongst themselves inside the church. The Reverend Steenwick is shot. So that happens. And then, go ahead, Michael. Tell us about this cool kill.
Yeah, the horseman just kind of like gets this little device where he chucks this giant long spear in through the window. It impales this homie, and he gets just ripped out of the church onto the ground, where he's then he gets end up putting like in his head is in between these two pieces of the fence, and then the horseman just kind of walks by and just lops it off.
It's like a guillotine is what it is.
Kinda.
That's what
it's
it
a
ends up
makeshift
being
guillotine.
like. Yeah, now he'd taken a wooden post from the fence, tied it to the rope, and threw it in. And it's like he's got good aim because he hit it.
He does. With no head. He's got no eyes to aim, yet
nope. But he got it.
I was going to say he maybe uses like echolocation, but that still involves a mouth. So I don't know how he's seeing.
Vibes. It's
just vibes, man. He's
Powers
just vibing
from the
out.
Underworld, yeah.
The power of the horseman vibes.
Man.
But yeah, he basically kind of just went fishing for him.
He did. And he went right out that stained glass window, down 2 stories onto the ground, and dragged to that fence. So
I will say he died with more dignity than I would have, because like I would have got the wind knocked out of me. I'd have been laying there like gasping, just rolling around on the ground before I got my head cut off. So good for him. At least he had some decorum that I wouldn't have had.
Oh my gosh. And Katrina faints, but she's drawn this incredibly elaborate symbol on the floor of the church now as well. So it's pretty cool.
And she's all little powers or whatever.
Yeah. Well, and he starts to suspect that Katrina might be the one who is controlling the horseman, but she ain't. It's not her.
And have we gotten to the part where we learn like you have to get his skull? Like that's what.
Well, so
isn't that what the witch told him in the woods? Yeah, because we kind of briefly mentioned it, but in this scene, there's this witch that he ends up talking to, and she informs him like that the person who has his skull controls the horseman. So he also now knows that, where it's like, okay, I got to find this dude's skull, and that'll lead me to whoever's doing this shit.
And that's when they went to visit the tree.
Yeah, that's when the tree scene happened.
It brings back, I think, for Ichabod some, okay, this is rational. This is a person we're dealing with. Because when he looks at the horseman, he's like, I don't even know how to deal with the unknown.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, we have now a person I need to look for, this is what I'm good at. But he's still kind of falling into the same traps of pointing fingers, looking at the suspicious people. We got a witch writing stuff on the floor. It's kind of leaning towards his good little girl for a minute, and it makes him uncomfortable, so he does leave her, which was sad because we know it's not her.
Has he seen Katrina's mom banging in the woods yet?
I believe
the
that
end.
happened already.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because
so-
that was with the Reverend. Was it the
Yeah.
Reverend? I think it was the Reverend.
Yeah.
They were getting it on in the woods. Yeah.
They weren't concerned about splinters.
Uh-uh.
No. No,
Unbelievable.
they were not.
Opening thrill over here.
Yeah.
That's our sub podcast where we talk
Yeah.
about spicy things.
Yeah.
That's right. That's the late
That's
night
a whole
one.
different show
That's
over
the
there.
late night show.
The late night show. So we find out that the true mastermind here is actually Mary Van Tassel, and she actually has killed the servant girl Sarah, decapitated her. And then she goes and visits the witch in the woods, who happens to be her sister. They were the two little girls in the woods that day at the beginning of the
Mhm.
movie, and she decapitates her sister. And now we're getting
It's fucked up.
closer to the end. And basically, Mary made a pact with dark forces to resurrect the horseman and exact revenge on those who had wronged her. So this is all driven by a past of betrayal and loss. And so, yeah, she's not a nice person. And one by one, she has orchestrated all of the deaths of heirs and witnesses to seize control of the Van Garrett estate. So she's basically been manipulating everybody from the shadows. She has the power to raise the horseman. And it's very cool because every time she does, he comes jumping out of this tree where, the body is. So, yeah.
Yeah, she likes killing people to get herself more rich. Like, she's just a stereotypical piece of shit.
Greed, man.
She
That's
sucks, man.
Stereotypical gold digger.
Yeah,
Yes,
God, this is what Kanye was
yes.
talking about in that song.
Well, we're going to end up at the windmill for the final fiery confrontation. And this is a pretty cool scene because now it's Katrina, it's Ichabod, and young, what's his name? The kid, Jonathan. I think
Jonathan,
it's
yeah.
Jonathan, the little kid. I think his dad's name was Jonathan too. But they all show
Yeah.
up at the windmill. They are trying to get away from the horseman, who is after them.
Is there anything cooler than like a period piece windmill scene? Like, they're always cool, especially when they involve fire.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love
This was just
windmills.
impressive to me. Yeah, the way they actually filmed it was a miniature set where they
Oh, wow.
then like composited the actors onto it. They used slow motion tactics. These are all practical things that you can just do in camera most of the time. They used real pyrotechnics, so the fire was real,
Mhm.
but then just put the actors in afterwards, so it was safe still, which is always good. We like safe actors. But
Mhm.
I didn't. It was so impressive watching that movie again and again. And you're looking for the faults sometimes, or I find myself doing that of like
Yeah.
trying to see how did you do that trick? How did you do it? But it was impressive. Miniature work, just like Star Wars, just like everything like Industrial Light and Magic. Once again, I'm a big fan of them. So anything they
Mhm.
do, impressive.
Right. Well, Ichabod has actually retrieved the horseman's skull and returns it to its rightful owner. And so now he's not under control anymore by Mary. So he turns on her. And this is, he kisses her with those big ass, sharp knife like teeth. This was kind of disgusting
No,
and
so
painful
hot.
to watch.
Best kiss ever.
Oh,
God.
God.
Too much.
Yeah,
I don't know
this
what he
was-
does to her, but it.
Yeah, doesn't
I
his
don't know what
tongue
he's
like
doing.
unfurl and then like go down her
Yes.
throat? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
like- Gene Simmons, but
Icky.
different.
yeah.
It's like the devil as Christopher Walken, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah, it's
you know,
gross.
they take off on the horse, and the horse dives back into the tree with her, and the curse is over. That's it. It's done. So,
Do you think they got married?
oh, maybe in hell. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they're just lovers.
I mean, it's hard to say.
I think he immediately cut her head off once they were down there.
Oh, probably.
Kind of his thing. Yeah.
Birds of a
Yeah.
feather, though. Doesn't he have his head cut off? Like they're just twinning.
Yep.
Yeah, they're just
And he
twinning.
doesn't have to listen to her yap all the.
No.
Am I right?
Am I right?
So Ichabod leaves Sleepy Hollow. He takes Katrina and young Masbeth with him and go back to New York City. And that's where they're going to all start their life together. And that is the end of the film. That is Sleepy Hollow. So when you were there, Courtney,
Yeah.
I'm sure you talked to quite a few people. Are people like always talking about this? Are they proud of the fact that this story, was set there? What's the
Yeah.
vibe there among the people?
I mean, it's funny, right? I feel like it's so much like it's generational. I can tell like the
Mhm.
Gen Zs and the younger people maybe are kind of like whatever. Not to say that they all are, but like the high school is literally Sleepy Hollow High School, and their mascot is the Headless Horseman. And like
Hell,
there's
Whoa.
Sleepy Hollow Police Department, and on all the on the police cars, it's the Headless Horseman, and like
Oh
the
my
That's
God.
signs
sick.
are orange and black. Like it's so cool. So I think the town and the community does take a lot of pride in the story and how it's like kind of shaped their town.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I always said like I just feel like it'd be so cool to go to college and be like, oh, me, I'm from Sleepy Hollow, So I imagine you have a sense of pride, but especially I think, people like 40 and up, like the decorations are just incredible. Like especially around Halloween, like this town really goes all out, especially like along the main drag and not only from the Headless Horseman, but from the history of the area, there are so many famous haunted mansions and manors that do a lot of tours that you can pay to go and see these properties. And I forget the word, not tour guide. I mean tour guide, but there's another word for them. The docents are so incredibly like excited to tell you the history of this land, and like whether they're locals or they moved there from somewhere else, like they really do. They love it. They take a lot of pride in it. Yeah.
So like compared to like the view, like the visual of the town in this movie, is it similar to the real one? Like what's the look of the actual town?
No, I know. Yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely like along the Hudson, right? It's just right on the river like that. And it's sort of like a mix of Ashland, Oregon and like Fresno and what you see in the movie, like there's like
Nice.
a lot of historical little well-kept areas and then like a lot of cute little shops and things. And then there's like gas stations and 7-Eleven and like more normal stores, right? It's like a
Right.
great blend of all the way back in time to that. I know that's a sound stage, but like that time kind of carried through to now, especially when it comes to the layout of the city. It's very windy and like it's very uphill and downhill, and like the streets are not on any sort of like grid that makes sense. It is very cool how they've kind of kept the original paths. Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool. Yeah, we definitely need to make a trip out there. I would love. And you went in October?
Yes. Yeah. I went, I think I probably went to Sleepy Hollow maybe like 12 times. But I went on
God.
Halloween. I went on Halloween day twice.
Oh.
Yeah, just
Nice.
because I'm an adult. I'm not, and I lived in an apartment. It's not like I'm like giving out candy to trick-or-treaters.
Right,
like
right.
at least in my building, that wasn't a thing. So we'd get on the train and it'd be cold and foggy, and we'd ride up and we'd go to like our favorite coffee shop and then get lunch and walk around and then just like take in all of the vibes. Yeah. And they also do a huge, not on Halloween day, like the weekend before, usually like a huge Halloween parade. That's like the biggest Halloween parade ever, and the Headless Horseman like rides through the whole time.
Hell, I think I'm just
Wow.
going to move there.
That's
What
cool.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I could live there.
Honestly,
In a
I was
heartbeat.
ready. I'm not kidding. We were seriously looking into like, could we ever afford to get a house here or live here? And like, it's just everything is so expensive in New York State. I mean, not everything,
Sure.
obviously. You go really high up there, things get more affordable. But certainly in Sleepy
Right.
Hollow, you're not only buying like a $900,000 house, you're also buying the fact that it's from the 1600s and all the problems that
Yeah.
come along with it. So we were like,
Yeah.
probably not, but yeah,
my God.
guys, get out there.
Yeah.
And there, like I said, it's super haunted. I've had a lot of paranormal experiences. So if you ever want to listen, I literally on Jaunty Haunts have a Sleepy Hollow episode where I tell some of my favorite stories that have happened there.
It was so good. Yeah. I mean,
Thanks.
yeah, no, I definitely, I actually own the book. It's more like a short story. It's not like a full
Yeah.
novel.
Yeah.
And I have it somewhere. I'm looking at my book shelf here and I don't see it, but it's a very thin book. But ever since I was a kid, this has been one of my favorite stories. So I remember when the movie came out, I was so excited and I saw it in theaters and it was better than what I thought it was going to be. It was just pretty amazing. So we did end up with quite a few kills in this. Final kill count was 27. So lots of stuff going on here. Favorite kill. Who would that be for you, Michael?
I forget his dumbass name, but it's the guy who gets ripped out of the church. That's
Baltus Van Tassel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my favorite kill. It's sick.
I would say
Samesies.
that's mine. Yeah, Shay, same. What about you, Courtney?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I think there was the one, and forgive me if I can't remember the exact name, but it's like closer to the beginning when he's like keeping lookout over the town, maybe in the cornfield, that one. And then he, gets him
Okay.
right there to the guy who's keeping watch. I like that one
Yeah.
because it's like really brings in the sense of like, oh, this guy, because that's like, I think what, the second or third kill at that point. And it's like, this guy's on a
Mhm.
rampage. Like, and just
Yeah.
the total great horror movie aspect of like, I'm on the edge of my seat, like, oh my God, get back in your tower. He's coming. Like,
Right.
yeah, the full vibe. Yeah.
Favorite character. Start with you, Shay.
Oof. I mean, I gotta go with Ichabod. That's the thing. He had so much growth in this movie. I also relate to him a lot of wanting to stick to what's real and then having your world kind of blown up a little bit, of physically watching the horseman come out and be like, "Oh damn, I'm in trouble now because I didn't believe in you." And then accepting the world of there is such a thing of having both. And of course, love me some Johnny Depp. Yes, he was cute. All right. That also helps.
Of course.
Right. Michael.
Yeah, I mean it's Ichabod. He's awesome. Like you get everything like Shay said, where this man is a man of science. It's this way. That's all I know. To then having to pivot and realize, okay, fuck, I don't know what to do now because my whole belief system is just got shit on, and having to just navigate that. He does it so well. I love Ichabod in this movie. He's just
Right.
a delight.
We love growth. That's what it is.
We love growth in a person.
Yeah.
More
Courtney.
growth, please.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of growth, my favorite was the horseman for sure. Like, we have such a fear and hatred of him the whole time, of like the whole town is against him. He's terrorizing everyone. And then we find out like it wasn't even his fault. Like he had no control because of the bounds of magic in this world and how they did it,
Mhm.
And so the fact that the minute he is like freed from this, that he's like, revenge, girl, you're going
Yes.
to like go bye.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And just like honestly on an actor level, like you talked about it, Michael, his physicality, right? Like he had no lines, he had no face to be expressive, and like the physical acting of, I know it wasn't Christopher Walken, like I'm sure it was him and a guy just being his body, but just a great job altogether, being very menacing, but also feeling at times like all of a sudden he had to leave, and it was like, that was
Mhm.
weird. And now it's like, then you learn
Right.
why. It's like, oh, okay. So anyway, yeah, the horseman.
Yeah. Good answer. And I went with Ichabod just because same reasons Shay and Michael mentioned, but the Horseman, that's a good one too.
Yeah.
Favorite scene? Mine was actually Brahm and Ichabod taking on the Headless Horseman. I just thought that was a very cool, very well choreographed fight scene. And I like that one a lot.
I love the
What about you,
bridge
Courtney?
too. Yeah.
The bridge, yeah. I think,
Yeah.
just those establishing scenes. I know, I mean, it's kind of vague, but any of them that are just showing the view of the town and have that droning music and the leaves falling, those ones that immediately pull me into the world where I always want to be, just like, woo, like those, yeah, for sure.
Right. Same for you, Shay?
I would actually pick the autopsy scene because it
Okay.
was so incredibly done. You know me, I love some good blood hoses when they're used correctly.
And they work.
Oh, they worked. They worked
Well,
maybe
they did
too
in
well.
this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but not always. We know that.
Right.
Yeah, and I loved the storyline at that point. We're seeing the fear, but trying to push past it. Oh my gosh, and all the blood. Love it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Michael.
So my favorite scene is Courtney's favorite kill. I think the lookout tower scene is brilliant, especially because like you see the tree line and like when he's cut like on the way, that fog rolls in. Like it's visually, you're like, oh, like it's something wicked this way comes. That instant feeling where, and then you get that intense just moment of please, get back. What are we doing, everyone? It's really really good. I think it's the most tense scene in the movie for sure. That's my favorite scene.
Okay. And now we have to ask the question, how screwed are we? I probably would not survive this movie. I would be one of the first ones to go. That's my opinion.
I mean, if I'm on the family bloodline like list, I'm toast. You can't really beat him. You can just kind of luck into finding his head, but that's really it. So no, I'm toast.
Right.
Oh, it depends. If I'm as broke as I am now, I don't think I'll be on the list, so I might be okay. But yes, if I had any name to me, oh, we're in trouble. That or we just got to be the ones controlling the head.
Right.
I don't know.
I know. I guess if you have control of the head, you got nothing to worry about as long as you keep it to yourself and you keep control of it.
I was gonna say, I think I'd be fine. I just keep doing witchcraft like I do now, but more intense back then, because that's the only power that I would have, and be like,
exactly,
my lord, I can help you find your head.
Well, we would be staying at your little cabin in the village.
Yeah,
we'd be your roommates.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
for sure. So we really don't have a final girl, final boy score here. I mean, it's not like your traditional slasher.
Technically, give it to Christina, but yeah, if we have to give it to her, she gets like a solid 1. Like, I don't know, like
she survived. Wow.
Yeah,
she gets more than a 1.
I don't know, like she's not a traditional final. Like I don't know, she doesn't really have the final girl tropes, so it's just like I don't know, whatever.
Well, I'm going to give her a 9 just to offset your 1.
Okay, Brian.
I mean, that's fair. Honestly, I'd be a middle. I'd be 5.
Okay.
That's how I was feeling, like 5 or 6. Like, girl, you had some stuff, but you were also like really not communicative when it would have helped you to like communicate.
Yes.
No, she's shady. She's weird. Like she's not.
Well, she is a child, so
right. So like
yes, she is. We established that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like, I guess she's a final child. Like
the final child. Yeah. Star grade from movie. 1 to 5. What do you give it, Michael?
It's 5. I love this movie. It's it's everything you want a movie to be. Like it just feels so theatrical and just so you just get so engrossed in this world. Like I love it.
Yeah, it's a 5 for me.
5 for me.
Completely agree. It's like the perfect blend of not being too scary for me, more wimpy, but also like fully immersing in the autumnal scary season. I love it.
Right. Slasher survival tip. If your town's killer is a headless ghost on a flaming horse, this is not an investigation. It's a relocation situation. Pack your bags and leave because you are already in Act 3, and Act 3 does not love you.
That was a very poetic.
Very poetic.
Very.
I
I
like
liked
that.
it.
I wrote that while I
did
was at the
Shakespeare
beach over
wrote
the
that?
weekend. No, I was at the beach over the
Golly.
weekend, and it just came to me, so I wrote it out.
Oh, the
and,
Oregon
yeah.
coast will do that to you. Yep, I get
It
it.
Brian
did, yeah.
Shakespeare.
Coming up next, we have your scare preview. But first, this is where Michael and I normally say all kinds of wonderful, nice things about the Jaunty Haunts podcast. But since we have the creator and host of Jaunty Haunts here, we'll let her do that.
Yeah, we don't
Courtney,
need to
tell
do
us-
it.
Yeah.
Thank
tell us
you.
tell us about the podcast and what's coming up and what's been going on.
Yeah, I'm so excited, you guys. Thanks for bringing it up and for chatting about it in previous episodes. No, I'm in pre-production and working on season 3 right now. So if you haven't listened to Jaunty Haunts, please listen now. You can listen to seasons 1 and 2. Those are out and rolling. Season 3 is going to have Michael on, and we actually just recorded our episode a little over a week ago where we talked about the Hat Man and different sort of sleep paralysis demons. And hopefully we can get Brian on later in the season as well to talk about something else. But yeah, I talk to all kinds of people about haunted paranormal tropes, ideas, themes, topics. I get their own personal experiences and stories, and I, as someone who sees ghosts, talk about the stuff that I see and the stuff that I experience as well. So you're welcome to come. It's a safe place. Listen, and like I always say, we can all feel a little less crazy together.
What is the scariest encounter you've had?
There's 2. The one I've shared is just way too long to go into, but essentially something so haunted and scary followed me home from a graveyard in Ashland when I was going to school there. And it had the piano that I lived with in the house, like that piano was playing itself. After many weeks of tormenting, haunting, cupboards and doors being left open, hearing disembodied voices in the other room, fighting with my roommate, and then the kind of climax of that was the piano playing itself while I watched it play. So that was definitely one of the scariest things. And then most recently was probably like the full kind of bodied, it's I hate the word, I don't know what else to call it, but like what I thought was a demon on the subway, like a horned entity with sort of like tattoos and bloody markings inscribed on its body, that kind of started to follow me. And I had to literally go to the church and like touch the church and be like, "Don't follow me! I'm a touching church." And it literally did this motion, like, and then turned around and went back into Grand Central Station.
Wow.
So, anyway, these are very short versions of these because I don't want to take up too much of your show. But if you want to hear the full version with the full soundscape and ambiance, please go listen to Jaunty.
Absolutely. Highly recommend it. And I'm also glad we were able to connect through our mutual friend Jillian.
Yeah.
Because when we started the same week, our podcast, the same week, a couple of years ago. And she was telling me about yours because we were talking about mine and Michael's. And she goes, my friend Courtney just started this one called Jaunty Haunts. You've got to check it out. And I did. And I reached out to you because I thought, this would be just such a great partnership to get together and talk about each other's podcasts and have each other on. And it's been a lot of fun. So thank you for all of your support of Opening Kill and for coming on and sitting in with us when you have time.
Happy to do it. And I'm happy we have this awesome little relationship. Thanks. Shout out to Jillian. I'm glad we can boost each other in this spooky realm that we're in.
The Scare Preview.
All right, scare preview time. Movies coming out that we are excited about. Michael, what is on your list?
Oh, golly. So technically I've already seen this movie, but it's not out yet. I actually have been in touch with the director, Roger Connors. He's a really cool dude. And he's got this upcoming slasher called Meat coming up. It's hitting the festival scenes right now. They do not have a release date yet, but hopefully this year. And it's after a night of drugs and debauchery results in the fatal overdose of an underage gay man. An innocent bystander is left to take the blame. And upon his release from prison, the guilty party becomes the focus of an eccentric killer's revenge. And I recommend just Googling the movie called Meat, by the way. Google Meat Killer. This killer has one of the coolest visual looks that I have seen in a slasher movie. This movie is really cool. It's definitely low budget, but you get all the passion that is been put into it. And I've chatted to the director a little bit about his experiencing growing up in the gay community that inspired this movie, and it's just really cool. I loved the peek into the culture that it gave me, and it's set in one of my favorite cities of Cleveland, so it's just really cool, and I recommend everybody checking out whenever it comes out. But it's really good. I loved it.
Perfect. Meat. And we might be
Meat.
talking to that director on Opening Kill in the near future as well. So stay tuned for that. So mine is a film called The End of Oak Street, directed by David Robert Mitchell, also written by David. And basically, after a mysterious cosmic event rips Oak Street from suburbia and transports their neighborhood to someplace unknown, the Platt family soon discovers that their very survival depends on them sticking together as they navigate their now unrecognizable surroundings. Anne Hathaway is in this, Ewan McGregor, Maisie Stella, and Christian Convery. Release date of August 14th in theaters. So looks very, very good.
Yeah, they just released the trailer. It looks like it's going to be so much fun. Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is a summer blockbuster. I cannot wait.
Yep, definitely. Courtney, what do you have?
I have, and I hope this is okay. It's not a movie, it's a show, but it's come out recently. It's called Something Very Bad Is Going to Happen on Netflix.
Ooh, I want to see this.
Yeah,
It looks
so
good.
with Adam DeMarco, Gus Burney, Jennifer Jason Leigh, fun stacked cast, but also a lot of newcomers. And the preview itself looks pretty vague, but essentially the sort of summary is it's 80 episodes. It's a horror series following an engaged couple, Rachel, played by Camilla Marone, and Nikki Adam DeMarco. They have a rural wedding weekend, and it's plagued by bloody omens. Rachel discovers her bloodline is cursed to die if they marry someone who isn't their soulmate. This leads to a desperate, paranoid fight for survival. So... yeah, I'm excited to watch it. I haven't watched it yet, but it looks really, kind of gory and fun and dark and scary and kind of something I'm craving in springtime,
Yes.
Agreed. Yes.
Yeah, it's on my watch list, so I want to see that one too. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah.
I've heard nothing but good things
Cool.
from all the horror creators have been just singing its praises.
Amazing.
So I cannot wait.
Cool.
I just have to carve out the time to watch a series.
Right.
So
Well, that wraps up episode 63, Sleepy Hollow. Thank you to Shay for sitting in and joining us and giving us your expertise on some of the practical effects and makeup effects. Always enjoy having you here. And Courtney, I'm so glad we were able to get you back on. I know that, you had a major move from the East Coast to the West Coast and a lot of stuff in between. And
Yes.
we've been juggling too. So I'm glad we were able to finally land on a date where we were all available and able to do this.
Me too. Thank you
Yes.
so much for having me back, guys. Always a pleasure.
thank you.
And don't forget
Thank
to check
you.
out Courtney, season 3 coming up soon of the Jaunty Haunts podcast. And if you've not checked it out before, go back and binge seasons 1 and 2. Highly, highly recommend. And subscribe to our podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We're always pretty busy on the socials. And we're on video now too, Michael.
Holla at that. Yeah, we've got the video version over on our YouTube page, so you can check that out. If you prefer your podcast the old-fashioned way, that's also fine. Audio is available on YouTube and also across all the podcasting platforms. So check us out wherever you enjoy getting your podcasts. And if you have a recommendation, you're like, hey, I want to see you cover this movie, shoot us over the movie at openingkillpod@gmail.com.
All right. Thanks for checking us out this week, and we will see you next Thursday with a brand new episode.
See ya.
Opening Kill is produced by Mystic Cloud Productions and hosted by Brian O'Connor and Michael Duran. New episodes drop every Thursday wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And don't forget, you can watch the video versions on YouTube. See you next time, if you survive the opening kill.